do you think?
They trust each other. No one's really concerned about did we complete 8 bars, or did we complete the 4 bars. You know, you have Tony Williams in there. You know, everything can be up for grabs and absolutely work. I mean, when you have players that trust each other, that's when things like this can happen. If you have people that are rigid about, you know, a 32 bar form and being religious about it, you can't do things like that. But Miles would never allow that to happen. You know, he wants that kind of elasticity. He wants mistakes. You know, this is what he tried. That's why his band sounded so specific, you know, what they were doing.
How important is Wayne Shorter to you as a saxophone player?
Right now, I think he's, you know, one of the more specific, expressive voices. Even, you know, what he's doing now, and usually when I'm talking about melody and space and things like that. I mean, he would rank probably second to Coltrane just because of differentiation of how he plays. I mean, that's just my, you know, my way of looking at it. Some people would say, well, Wayne is my idol. And, you know, saxophones see players as their individual idols. But
is it something again that comes down to sound? His sound?
I think it's style.
Style.
I mean, yeah, it's a 50-50 thing. I mean, to me, if you talk to any of these Scott or any of the guys who play saxophone, they'll tell you right off the bat: Coltrane, Sonny, Wayne, Stan Getz, Liebman, Frank Tiberi, Jerry Bronze, you know, it goes down the list of people that idolize these people also. It just keeps, it goes on and on. So you can't really pinpoint. I mean, I love Sonny as much as I love Train because Sonny does what Train doesn't do. Train does what Sonny won't do. You know what I mean? So you put all these things together and we all come up with a kind of compilation of what everyone plays. I mean, that to me is really finding out what the instrument is about, rather than, okay, I love Michael Brecker, which I do, you know. But Brecker, I don't know if you go on YouTube and you look at Live in Japan, it was myself, Brecker, Liebman, and Josh Redman, and we were doing a tribute to Coltrane, and you can hear how dedicated each one of those 4 saxophone players were to Coltrane.
Yeah.
It's
in different ways. Yeah,
it's written in the sound. How many years we listened to Coltrane just trying to develop that area that he had so encompassed in terms of sound and style.
When you, when I hear you play, I think of Coltrane quite a bit. Some other people too, and you've got your own style, but Coltrane is there in your playing. Did you ever get to a point with him where his achievements almost became oppressive? You know, and you sort of felt like, I gotta get away from this guy.
Never. Even when I thought I was getting close, there were some points where I was like, wow, I think I'm getting close to Train, and I'd put on a record, and I'd listen to that sound, and I realized he was so many light years away from me. But his wealth of information is never ending. It doesn't stop. You know, like you think okay, wow, I'm mastering the even eighth notes. I'm getting his augmented together by figuring out giant steps, and you fall on that, and then you realize there's something else you can get into. It doesn't end. I mean, I would probably be in the ground before I figure out a quarter of it. You know, that's how much of a legacy he left. And you know, Liebman agrees, Tiberi agrees, and these to me are the ultimate players of what I'm looking for. Dave Liebman and Frank Tiberi, and you know, they say the same thing. It doesn't end. Some players you listen to, and you can come to a finality with what they do. But with Coltrane, I don't think anyone's really tapped the real essence of what he does, or what he did, because it takes years of hard work and dedication just to get in that pocket. I mean, I remember driving back and forth from Boston to New York when I was teaching in '95, just listening constantly to transition over and over to understand or Love Supreme, you know, how, not what he played, but how he played it. How did he lay that pocket? And that's what helped me to figure out my time and my sound, how he got in there and laid that down.
Mm-hmm. So his sense of groove, his sense of...
Exactly.
Is there an ultimate lesson with Coltrane? I mean, if you get away from all... Can we bring this down a little bit? In fact, all the way. If you get away from all the specific lessons that he has, is there one big one? Is it what you just said?
The big lesson is stay connected.
Stay connected.
To him. Yeah.
To him?
To him. I mean, that's for me. And I can look at any saxophone player in the house in their eye and they'll agree, right, Scott? And I keep going to you. It's like a given. I mean, I don't think I would meet any saxophone player that would say, oh, I'm not into Coltrane.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, he was the person that I think defined the instrument, the tenor saxophone, and that style.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, if you really get into it, the thing that separates a lot of people is that I'm finding with the younger students that if it takes a long time to get it together, which it does with someone like Coltrane, there's a long-term commitment that you need to get into. Most people can't commit to a 20-year, term of trying to get it together.
Yeah.
Where, old-timers like myself were fixated on that Lee and Brecker and Grossman,
right,
and Frank. We understood that being able to get in that pocket of Coltrane was more than just a quick fix learning experience.
Right.
And that's what's happening today. A lot of learning with students is what I call a quick fix. They want information that they can have together in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't do that with someone like Coltrane.
But one of the things Coltrane was fixated on was looking outside his own musical circumstances, right? I mean, trying to do the impossible, trying to take any music or any sort of system of thought that he read about or heard, and figuring out something he could extract from it and apply to his own playing. Do you think that, I mean, he in a way, he was an argument for looking out, for jazz musicians should look outside of jazz, right?
Jazz musicians should look outside of themselves, that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
And he was one of the few people who really dared to do that. He and Sonny and Pharaoh and Archie Shepp, they weren't afraid to go out. I mean, think about when Bird went to California, they put him down. They hated it. When Train came out, they hated the way he played because they went against the norm of what traditional improv was about. But they went for it anyway. I'm sure there's people that don't like the way I play, but it never fazed me because, we were on this path of searching for that answer.
Yeah.
When you get to that point, especially having a band that commits to you for 40 years. I mean, how many bands do you know that have been together for 40 years?
Very few.
The Rolling Stones. I just said it with the Grateful Dead the other night. For some reason they loved me to come down. Rat Dog and Bob Weir. Their sax player is one of my old students, Kenny Brooks. He was telling me for years to come down and sit in with the Grateful Dead. I'm like, really? I went down, unbelievable.
And how'd it go?
Wonderful. It's on my website. And underneath my picture, you just press this little button and you'll see the whole thing with Bob Weir. I mean, I grew up playing rock. I mean, I grew up listening to the Grateful Dead. In fact, when they put the